If you like what you see, why don't you think about subscribing? And make sure to check out my channel for videos just like this. What's going on, folks? It's MrBucketlist here, and today I present the complete guide to Utopia of the Seas. Let's check it out. The first part of this guide will be starting off with the complete ship tour. I go deck by deck, it's fully narrated. I show each and every area on this cruise ship. After that, I do a complete food tour where I show each and every food menu on this cruise ship. Lastly, I'll be trying something new where I'll be doing a quick showcase and almost a quick review of all the entertainment that's on board. So I hope you all enjoy this video. There will be timestamps in the description, and I'll see you soon. Now I wanted to add this part in because this is actually the deck I was on, deck 9, and I just want to show you all that there was a swingers convention on the cruise ship, and if you think I'm joking...
Yeah, I heard about deck 9. You know, we got a swingers convention on the ship. I've been well informed by some members of the...
I am not. So I'll talk about it more in my review. I did not book this cruise because of the swinger convention. I don't even know how to do something like that. But it did take place, and it happened to be on my floors, about 60 of them. It's pretty interesting, I'll say that. Let's get to the actual tour. So as usual, my tour starts about 5:39 a.m. So if it seems like it's very empty, that's the reason why. The first thing I'm going to show is going to be the smart elevators. So this was introduced on this cruise ship. They also have this in Icon class as well. Basically what it is if you hit the you hit whatever floor you're going to, and then it's going to take you down to that floor. Now once you get in the actual elevator, as you can see, there's no buttons to press, anything like that. So that's why they call it smart. It's so kids can't, you know, hit a bunch of buttons and go to different areas or whatever. It's just to avoid confusion and going to the wrong floors and stuff like that. Now the trick is you have to hit the floor as many times for as many people as in your group. So if you're going there, if 4 people in your group, you hit it 4 times. If you just hit it 1 time, it's going to get crowded because the elevator thinks it's only 1 person in there when it's actually 4 or 14, for example. Now what we're doing right now before we get to the main dining room is going to the left. They do have a conference center. Now again, if you have any type of events or something like that, you can rent it out. As you see, it says private function, but that can be pretty much anything. So for example, Royal Caribbean invited me to a feedback group for one of their restaurants, and it took place in this particular room. So it said private function, and then when you walk there, you'll see like a concierge person. They're going to ask you, oh, what's your name? And check you in and stuff like that. And then you come in this room, and then they'll have like drinks and food and stuff like that. Again, it's early in the morning, so it's shut down right now, but usually they spruce it up pretty much depending on what event they have going on. Now we are heading to the dining room, the main dining room. So this is included for all guests on board. This is a 3-level dining room, so they have the 3rd, 4th, and 5th floor. So here we are right now. Again, it's very beautiful. Royal Caribbean always has some of the most elegant dining rooms, and I love how it's stacked so you can kind of look over it. And even though it has 3 floors, all the floors are identical. They just have different categories. So, for example, down here may be the My Time Dining, where you don't need a reservation, you just show up, or you can pick up a preferred dining. The next floor above that may actually be actual set dining. So if it says be there at 5:30, you should be there at 5:30, or you can't eat. And then the last floor above is usually like for suite guests if they want to have a special occasion. Just VIP guests are usually on that 3rd floor. If they're not in the coastal kitchen, they just want to come to the main dining room. So that's what that's for. So right now we're going to the 4th floor real fast. I can show you all a view up there. And then I'll show the 5th floor a little bit later in this video. But as you all can see, like I said, it's pretty much identical. It's just different floors. That's it. Okay, so once we are done with the main dining room, this is Utopia Station. So this is the big train station thing that came, the train station restaurant. And I just want you all to hear this flicker board. Take a listen. So as far as the actual review of that restaurant, that will be in a future video, not in this one. This is focused just on the touring of the cruise ship. But that is a cool restaurant. I highly recommend it. Casino Royale. So again, every cruise ship outside the Pride of America, most cruise ships have some type of casino on board, and this is no different. Now, this casino is actually unique. So initially, it was a smoking casino, and they had a non-smoking area. Now, this entire casino is non-smoking, so they did recently update it, and I'm glad they did, because when you first walked in here, it smelled beautiful. I'm like, why would they ruin that for some cigarette smoke when this thing, I mean, it looks nice, it smells nice. And thankfully, Royal got to their senses and changed it. So I will show the section later on. Like I said, I'm assuming that they changed that to a smoking area because it was closed off and it was separate and stuff like that. But they change these cruise ships all the time. So I just want to let you all know, for people that love to comment on videos, oh, this changed, this changed. They change stuff all the time. Yes, it is a 24-hour business, but at the same time, if they want to change something because of feedback, they're going to do it. So anyway, so as far as this casino, I mean, as you all can see, it is huge, it's nice, it's clean. Again, this is early in the morning, so please do not come through here and record while people are gambling. They will catch you and they will kick you out. So only do this when there's nobody inside. Okay. And then outside of the casino, they have the art gallery. So all these are different art pieces that are up for auction. What they pretty much do is they store them down here, and then early in the morning, not on this morning, but you'll see them all getting loaded up on carts. And what they do is they take it up to one of the clubs. So usually Boleros or the Attic, one of the clubs or whatever. And they have people actually auction on them. So I've never done art auction before. I kind of want to. That's on my bucket list to do. I'm not a huge art fanatic, but of course I am a big cruise fanatic. So this will be a cool experience. So I'm definitely going to look into it. And Park West. So that is the actual vendor that does this, if you were curious about it. So check out these pieces. Again, and then just signs to let you know that you're heading to the casino if you're coming from this way. Now over here is actually some more entertainment. So right here you have Studio B. So this is where the main ice skating show is going to be at. This is where they have the red party. Where everyone wears red, they turn into a club. That's the box office right there. So if you want to try to see if they have any availability, and if you can't see in the app, if you talk to the box office, they may be able to squeeze you in there. But this is a view of the ice skating ring right here. A tip for this, if you all saw to the left, they actually had some reserved seating. That's for the star guest. If you want the best seat in the house, just sit beside the star guest. You don't have to sit in the seat because you can't, but sit right beside it. You get the best seats possible, I promise. All right, and heading to the Crown Lounge. So this is my first cruise of being Diamond. So this is my first time having access to it, and it felt good. I mean, you have 24-hour access. You come in here, they have drinks, they have a coffee pot. They have like a really nice coffee pot. Coffee machine, espresso machine. They have food. It's just a place to kind of get away from the racket and stuff like that. So there goes the coffee machine I was talking about. And then this area right here, depending on the time of day, they have different food. This is early in the morning. Again, this is 5 o'clock in the morning. They already had food out there for you. So if you want to sneak in here and get a really quick breakfast without having to deal with crowds and stuff like that, and if you're Diamond and above, definitely check this out. Now, I know there were some rumors about, if there's too many people, too many dimes on the cruise ship, you're not going to be able to get in. I doubt that happens. I mean, I don't see them restricting someone's card. I just can't see that now. I can see them asking to leave once you're in there, but I mean, as far as them telling you can't come in at all with your card being Diamond, I don't think that's how it works. So just a heads up. Now, this is the area I was talking about. So at the time of this recording, like I said, they literally didn't change the wording for this because the entire casino, the other casino I just showed, was non-smoking. This was as well. So again, I think they're going to convert this into a smoking area for those who need to smoke while they gamble. But again, I'm not 100% sure because I have not been back on the ship since. So anyone that has been on the ship in the past, I guess, couple of days of this video, please let me know if they changed the wording, or if they should change this stuff around, or whatever happened to it, or if it still says the same thing. So again, they will have slot machines. They have a table. Couldn't do too much because the woman was over there gambling. But they do have food and drinks in here as well. So it's just a mini version of the typical casino. And of course, they have ATMs because they need your money. Okay, so we are heading up to the Royal Promenade. Now again, there are multiple ways to get up here. As you all can see, they have elevators. You can go up now and go to the stairs. It's pretty cool. And that is on deck 5. Now before we get there, this is the Royal Theater. These pretty much look standard on all Royal Caribbean cruise ships. It's just, of course, the size of the ship is going to change the size of the actual theater. This one was nice. And as you all have seen a little bit, of course, this Oasis class ships has 2 theaters. They have that one, then they also have the Aqua Theater. But let's go ahead and check out the Royal Promenade first. So again, Utopia of the Seas is pretty much their weekend party ship or whatever. And like I said, I'll talk about that more in the review. I mean, as you all can see, I mean, the Swingers Convention and then this as well. But it is a place where I call it Boostopia of the Seas because a lot of people were drinking, and this is one of the reasons why, the pesky parrot. This really reminds me of Margaritaville at Sea. I am a huge fan of it. I know a lot of people love to hate on it. They support me 100%, so I support them. But this really just reminds me of the Islander. even this parrot. I mean, Margaritaville sees this thing as a parrot, so check it out.
A lot of people ask me, what's the best drink on the menu? My answer is always the same. The next one!
And now that I'm watching the playback, that actually looks pretty realistic. They did a really good job on that parrot. But that would be there, and like I said, it just, I guess, has some little sensors, so when you walk by, it just starts talking. Now we are heading to Spotlight Karaoke. Now, I will give you all some tips for those who are not familiar with Royal Caribbean. If you enjoy karaoke, this place gets packed. And so if you don't like crowds, you might just want to sit on the outside or stand against the wall or something like that. Or you just need to get there early if you don't mind crowds. But it gets, oh my God. So my friend, she actually made it to the championship. She was runner-up, so second place. And to get a seat in the front row, it was so hard to do. Oh my goodness. So just know that it really gets packed. What I recommend is there's some benches that's on the outside of this location. Just sit there until you see people coming out. And then when you see people coming out, just go ahead and walk in and try to get a seat. Or if it's too busy, someone's going to take the seat. But either way, it's very enjoyable. And that's the benches I'm talking about right there. Spotlight Karaoke. Okay, so let's keep on heading on down. So you have the shop, which is Royal Caribbean's brand of clothing and things like that. So it's going to have that logo on there. And then you have some other things, Sorrento's, we'll get to that in a bit. Let's see what else is over there. Just more shops. So again, when you first come on the cruise ship, this is going to be the main level that they have you come on, so Deck 5. That's pretty much on any Royal Caribbean cruise. They're always going to have you come to the main Royal Promenade when you first get on. Right here is the seashell. So each Oasis class ship has some type of structure or just some type of whatever you want to call it that catches your eye. And so that was the seashell. That one was actually really nice. And then this right here is where they have the acoustic players and more of the alternative music that's here. To be honest, if you're a type of person that likes to be a groupie and tries to talk to musicians, I see them here all the time. I've been to so many of these different ones, and I just see the women just Google-eyed over there, whoever's playing the little guitar, the banjo, or whatever. So just keep that in mind. Okay, and then we are coming up to Cafe Promenade. So this, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's either 24 hours or close to 24 hours. I don't ever remember walking by here and seeing this place closed. I really think it is 24 hours. And they have snacks, they have juice, water, just everything that you need if you want to get like a quick something. And so here's your options right here. But if they don't have something you want and you know they make it, you can just request it and they'll also bring it over to you as well. And all this is included. I think the only thing that may be additional is a specialty coffee, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not a coffee drinker, so I couldn't tell you. And then the car. So not only does Utopia have that seashell, but they also have the fixture of the car. Now, if I'm not mistaken, with the older cruise ships, they always had like a car, and that was pretty much it. But because this cruise ship is a larger class, Oasis class, they have the car and they also have the structure. So it's pretty cool. And yes, you can come in there. You can actually get inside the car. You can take pictures. They will have camera people there to take pictures as well if you want professional photos from Royal Caribbean. That's all there. Cafe Promenade. (212) UE. All right, so here we have guest services. Now, this is not 24 hours. Now, before I go there, little monkeys. So everywhere on this cruise ship, they have like monkeys. I don't know what the whole theme is with the monkeys, but you all will see it when I show the other decks and other areas. Monkeys are all over this cruise ship. But here's guest services. If you have any serious complaints or just anything you need to take care of, I highly recommend you come early in the morning like I am now, because they are open, I think, at like 4 or 5 o'clock, and then, of course, until like almost midnight. Then Vroom, your internet service desk is right there. They have very limited hours, so keep that in mind. If you're having internet issues, I would take care of that as soon as you get on board if you notice it right away. Next, cruise desk. So this is where you go if you want to go ahead and book a cruise on the cruise ship. Now, the advantage of this is you will get a cruise credit. The disadvantage of this is you're kind of pressured to kind of choose like after a couple of months or something like that, and you really have to spend a lot for it to be worth it. So I actually, on this cruise, I actually booked this cruise when I was on, Quantum of the Seas, and so they gave me I was on Wonder of the Seas. excuse me, Odyssey of the Seas. Sorry, I've been on a lot of these different cruises. I was on Odyssey of the Seas, and they gave me a credit of $25. So $25 just to book it about a year in advance. So to me, that really wasn't worth it, especially when prices change and stuff like that. But if you have a larger cabin and a better suite or something like that, then you'll be fine. Sorrento's, that was a 24-hour pizza place. They have some really good pizza. Well, it's not 24 hours. This is about 22 hours. They close pretty early, and they open back up later on in the day. Boleros. So this is the club that they have pretty much on all Royal Caribbean ships, the Latin Club. I am glad that Royal Caribbean, at least on the Icon classes, have started to add more additional clubs than just this. It's just like, okay, you all have the Latin Club on almost all your cruise ships. Like, there are other genres of music. And so now, like, if you all listen to this video, they do have a jazz club on Oasis, on Stars, stuff like that. They have other clubs instead of just this one that's just focused primarily, well, only on Latin music. So I'm glad they're branching out, but this is Boleros. And then again, if you want to go back down to the casino or Studio B, you can access it via the stairwell on the Promenade. So right here is the stairwell for like the photos and stuff like that. So if you're someone that likes to take cruise ship photos on the stairwell, this will be it right here. This is deck 5. If I'm not mistaken, this is aft, so the back of the ship. And what we're doing now is we're heading to deck 6. And once we get done with the shore excursion area over here, we'll head to the Boardwalk. Now, this also has limited hours as well, but if you want to catch some late sails or just some last-minute excursions, you come here if you can't get on the app. And then right there is the Crown and Anchor Society. So essentially, if you're Diamond like myself, or if you're just any tier with Royal Caribbean, if you have questions, they have a rep that's sitting right there that can help you out. If you are Diamond, they do have a concierge that's in that Diamond Lounge when the hours are actually open. So I would recommend going there first because he's a lot easier, he's a lot smoother, and he knows what he's doing. So or she. Also, about this bar right here, so for my drinkers out there, I don't drink. I'm not a drinker at all. I sip. But I have a friend that does drink. Well, he did drink. And he said, go to that bar for a peanut butter and jelly whiskey. And I've tasted it. It was really, really good. So I highly recommend it. It can only be found at that bar I just showed. This right here is the Vitality Spa. So this includes both the spa and the gym, which is open from about 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. depending on the day of the cruise. And now we have made it to the Boardwalk. So one thing I want to note, so the Boardwalk now is Surfside area on the Icon class, so the newest class. I much prefer the Boardwalk over Surfside area. So Surfside area is pretty much saying, hey, this is 100% for kids. If you're an adult that doesn't have kids, you might as well stay away. For a Boardwalk, that's not the case whatsoever. Yes, as you can see, this clearly is for kids as well, but they also have a bar over here, and then they have the amazing Aqua Theater. And I mean, I get why Icon did it. It really is a good way to separate the kids from the adults. But I still just miss this Boardwalk area. I don't know, I just feel like if you don't have any kids, you really just lose a lot of space on the ship because you're not going to that area. With that said, I do love how Icon has the indoor Aqua Theater, also known as the Aqua Dome. So it's almost good trade-offs here and there. This is the carousel. This is free of charge, and it does have limited hours as well. It changes for each cruise to kind of keep that in mind. And then this is the bar I was talking about. So this is not free of charge as far as, of course, the food that's here, the drinks, and also the games. So if you are a gamer, you will have to pay additional for it, but it is cool how they have these classic games on this bar. And they have a pool table, which I think you can use free of charge, and then they also have like the foosball table as well. That's free of charge, but the only main thing you have to pay for is because it says the food, the drinks, and the arcade games. And just another quick hand of these games here. The OG Mario Bros. And then there's the foosball table. And then the bar itself right here. So if you do like pub food or whatever, I highly recommend Playmakers. And it's not that expensive. I mean, it is technically considered a specialty restaurant. But you can go here, you can get wings for like, I don't know, $8 to $12. It depends on, I guess, inflation, things like that. And then right in front of us is Johnny Rockets. Now, they do have a complimentary breakfast on certain port days, if I'm not mistaken, or sea days. But even there, if you go there, it's not that expensive. And then that's the Abyss Slide. That also is free of charge as well. And then here is the Aqua Theater. This is one of my favorite theaters on board. Again, I do love the Aquadome because unfortunately, since this is outside, sometimes they do cancel the shows or you'll be sitting out there in the rain. But the shows here are fantastic. Some of the best shows at sea are on those aqua theaters. Utopia. And then last but not least, as far as the food out here is, well, they have the candy place over there to the right. It's not free of charge, but that was the board house that we just walked past. So if you like hot dogs, go there to get you a hot dog. Now let's check out the full room tour. Alright, what's going on, folks? It's Mr. Bucket List, and this is room 404 here on Utopia the Seas interior room. So let's get it. This is my first time in here, so everything's new to me as well. Let's go ahead and start off with the bathroom. So standard bathroom. Again, the ship is still very new. The ship came out, a couple months ago, if that. So very nice. Standard shower, standard bathroom. It has the dual body wash, so both hair and body wash line up there. Pretty cool, all your towels and stuff like that. So that's that. And then we come to the desk, one of my favorite spots. Now, as you can see, we got a bunch of outlets. So let's go ahead and count it. Alright, so keep on going. With the diamond does come with 2 bottled waters. Also the welcome aboard, so that's pretty cool. This is your TV here. Now, it doesn't look like it swivels, which kind of sucks. It doesn't. That kind of sucks, but that's your TV. This is your dresser and everything right here. Plenty of space. And it does come with a mini fridge, so that's cool. Okay, and then they have 2 dual closets, so one on that side, one on this side. Again, this ship is made for weekend cruises and short cruises, so you're not going to get the huge stuff like you usually see, which is kind of unique. I like that. And then this is the bed. Now, this is a twin-size bed put together to make I guess a queen-size bed, but that's not bad at all. And then over here near the bed, you actually have this on both sides. So again, you got an outlet right here, you got a phone, got a light switch as well. And then you got one on the other side, so that's 2. And then 6 over there. So 8 rooms in this, 8 outlets in this room. Pretty cool. So that is pretty much it, y'all. I'll go ahead and get some more pans of the room, but that was it. Utopia the Seas. Let's do it. Okay, so we have made it to Central Park. This is going to be deck 8 on this cruise ship, and I think it's deck 8 on all Oasis class cruise ships, if I'm not mistaken. But these do have like censored doors, so you have to press the button to get in because the wind and things like that. These are one of my favorite areas on these cruise ships. All these trees and plants that you see around here are real. I know a lot of people probably talked about it already, but they are real. If you come early enough, or you might see in this video, you'll actually see them out here watering the flowers and pulling weeds and stuff like that. It's actually pretty cool. And then to the left, as you can see, that is the bar that goes up and down. So it's the floating sky bar. It goes up and down, and it's almost like a ride. Now, of course, when you're actually moving, it's pretty slow, so it's not like it's fast or anything like that. But it is cool to be on different decks and stay in your seat and see different views and stuff like that. And you don't have to pay additional for it. You just most likely need to get a drink to stay in there and take up space. Cellist bar, so that's actually one of the nice fun bars. They have some really good drinks there. And then as you walk and see, just above is the pool deck, the slides and things like that. I really love this area. Now, one thing I will say is, so when I was on Oasis of the Seas, this area, for some strange reason, this was an area that a lot of kids like to come to. And I actually had a balcony cabin. Well, my friend had a balcony cabin that was that was overlooking to the, and she said she couldn't sleep because the kids were that loud and stuff like that. So shame on the parents that allow your kids to do whatever and mess up everyone else's vacation. They were up there screaming at 2 o'clock in the morning in Central Park at all places. So shame on y'all. But anyway, so this is the cafe that's in here. So all this is included. As you walk in, so you just kind of pick and go. And then of course the food that they have here does change depending on the time of day as well. So again, as far as my actual food review, my food tour, that will be a separate video. Or if this is the complete guide, then that was a separate section of this video. But like I said, I highly recommend to come here. Even again, like if you're about to go to port, you don't want to deal with the buffet, you don't want to go to the main dining room. If you just need something quick and if you're not diamond, this is probably the best place to come to. Or if you just need something to drink like I did. Now again, just to kind of note, so this is an outside area, so they will have like they have like courtesy umbrellas when you first walk out the doors or whatever on the side. So if you didn't see it, just kind of look out for it if you're on this cruise ship. But I'm just saying to say that it does get wet out here if it does rain, so just kind of keep that in mind. Over here, if you can see all the seating and stuff, so they actually will have someone come and they'll play music, play acoustic. Sometimes they'll have the band come out there. Sometimes they'll do like a little mini symphony. It's pretty cool. I really, really like that area. And looky there, another monkey. So like I said, I don't know what it is about this cruise ship and the theming with monkeys, but there it is. And speaking of raining, so while I'm editing this video, so I live in Florida and it is pouring right now, oh my goodness. So here's the music hall. Again, this is another one of the clubs I was talking about. Like, so they have the different genres, so I'm glad they have this, including with boleros. But this one, they kind of change it up, so it's not just one style. Boleros is the same style over and over and over again. But I do like the music hall. They definitely, so for example, even with the karaoke contest, so when they have the semifinals and the finals of the karaoke thing, they actually come to the music hall, and it's actually really nice. Here we are at the pool deck. So this is new for Oasis class cruise ships. Pretty much it's like a come and grab and go type of thing. They have burgers, they have fries, sandwiches, things like that. So that's actually pretty cool. Of course, that does have limit hours as well, so kind of keep that in mind. Around this time period, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's probably about 6:45, 7 o'clock. Right here where I'm walking through, I'm trying to see if this is a smoking area. Let me see. It is. So to the right, that was a smoking area. So if you're curious about where you can smoke at, it's up here on the pool deck. And to the right, they'll have a left side and a right side. Just make sure on the right side. And then again, because it's so early, that's the reason why the pools are shut off and closed. What they pretty much do is they clean them every morning. They put the chlorine and stuff like that in them, and then they rinse it out, and then they open it up. So usually the pools open up around 8 o'clock each morning on Royal Caribbean cruise ships. I do like this because they have the huge big screen and they have the double sides. I mean, these ships are massive. Like, oh my god! And again, I've been on Icon, I've been on Star, but it doesn't matter. Oasis is still big. Lime and coconut. So that is the primary bar that Royal Caribbean is known for. This one does have a multi-level lime and coconut. Pro tip: if you want to get your first drink on the cruise ship, it's kind of hard to find an open bar. The lime and coconut will always be open as soon as you get on board. So just kind of know that. Right here are the rentable cabanas. So they have different size and they have different prices depending on the time of the cruise, if it's port day, sea day, and stuff like that. Such a beautiful morning. So to the right, again, that's the lime and the coconut. And then if you want to kind of sit there and watch music or whatever, you can just kind of sit here and chill. This is actually where I had my first drink, and I just kind of sat down here and just kind of watch people just have fun or whatever. And it was pretty nice. Okay. So another thing with this pool deck is, so they do have the kids area, they have the adults area, then they have a family area where it's adults and kids. I highly recommend, and I'll show it in a bit. I mean, if you're an adult and if you really don't want to deal with this, like the loud music, the kids and stuff like that, you just want to get in some water, head to the adults only solarium. It's just that simple. That's what it's there for. But now I will say this, so they will have like pool games and stuff like that, and it's going to be in this area right here. So this is the adult side of the pools. So definitely come here. Like I said, they're going to have the games and stuff. They have the TV, they have the music, the bands. It's really fun. And this is the kids area. So this is the baby bay, I believe it said. But this also has limited hours as well, because of course they definitely have to clean this area. But just kind of keep that in mind. And here's the slides. Now these slides are pretty intense. As far as if you can record with a GoPro or not, it just really depends on who's at the slide. Some people say no, some people say yes. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm not endorsing to break the rules. Ask whoever you can before you get on the slide. But they are pretty much almost identical, just different colors, that's all. And they are known as the Perfect Storm. By the way, that movie, The Perfect Storm, oh man, it's weird. So that movie always makes me sad. If you know about it, it's a pretty sad movie. Anyway, over here, so you have this bar. This is actually one of my favorite bars. Just the views, to be able to sit here with a drink and look at the ocean. Not many cruise ships have this, ironically, not at least with this oval shaped view that they have. So I highly recommend this. This does get busy as well. And then here we are. My favorite place on this cruise ship outside of Central Park. So I have 3 different places. My favorite place to see a show is the Aqua Theater. My favorite place to kind of walk and stroll around is Central Park. My favorite place to relax is the solarium. The solarium's nice. You got an octopus, so no monkey right now. But this is 18 and up. You will see kids try to come in here late at night. Around that time period, if nobody's really there, they don't say much. But during the day, they will kick kids out, which is nice. I wish it was 21 and up, but of course, I mean, you can't have everything. As far as these pools, I'm trying to see, are they open? They are. So these pools actually open up a little bit earlier because they understand that people come here early to get their spot and stuff like that. Plus, it's adults. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, the solarium pools open up around like 7, maybe 6 something. And I will get in and kind of show you all and stuff like that. That is a hot tub. So all these tubs in the solarium, they are heated. None of them are like cold or anything like that. They're all heated or above room temperature. And they have showers, they have bathrooms, and depending on which floor you're staying on, you actually can walk from your room straight to the solarium if you go through that door, if you're on the whatever floor that is. And then as far as the depth for this hot tub, it's not, I think it's like 4 feet, maybe 3 feet. It's not deep at all. And just to let you know, so they do have the buttons, so if you don't want to have it where it's just flat, if you want to have the bubbly sensation, they do have the buttons on the side. Beautiful seahorse. Let's see, where are the monkeys? I know y'all got some monkeys in here. Where are y'all at? And then as far as bars and things like that, so they do actually have a bar in here. It's right behind me. And then they also have a restaurant. So the Solarium Bistro, again, I will show that all in the food section. I recommend that as well. Now that does kind of get busy because essentially it is a buffet. So it is going to almost be a madhouse depending on what time it is. But at the same time, nothing as crazy as the actual real buffet, the standard buffet, the Windjammer. Okay, and that is the solarium. And last thing I'll show is those seats right there. You can pretty much just kind of first come, first serve. Nothing inside the solarium is something you can rent. You have to basically just get there, just take a seat or whatever. And then if you did have some towels, or if you request towels or whatever, you can just drop them off right here, or you can grab towels right here. Now, one thing about this cruise ship, and this kind of goes for all Oasis class cruise ships, is they do have like hot tubs all around the cruise ship. So, I mean, you're not just limited to the pool deck or just the solarium. Like, they have little tuckaways like this right here. This is probably my favorite hot tub on the cruise ship because of the view. I will show the view in a bit, but it's an infinity hot tub. Right on this time period, we're actually right beside Celebrity Reflection, which is a beautiful cruise ship. I'm actually going to be on there hopefully sometime next year. But as you can see, so you get a view of the ocean while in the hot tub. And then we have made it to the sports court. And yes, Utopia does have a zip line. The zip line is free of charge. First come, first serve. If you want private time, get the key and you won't have to wait. And of course, they have the flow rider. This is also more first come, first serve. They do have private times as well. You can also pay for training private VIP sessions. And right here is the abyss slide. Now let's show it at night. So I really hope that you all enjoyed this video. Say what's up to my little monkey friend. Again, the ship is beautiful. Just know that this is a party ship. But if you're looking for a quick cruise on Royal Caribbean, Utopia, that's it for you. It's Mr. Bucket List signing out. First, we're going to start off with the specialty dining. So this is for those who have either the dining package or if you just want to do a la carte. Here you go right here. This was at Hooked Seafood. Now the quality of this food was actually really, really good. This fried calamari, for example, was amazing. I did not like these oyster shots. And so the cool thing is if you have a drink package or if you're like me and you're diamond, only one drink you can get 4 shots for one drink, which is actually pretty cool, but it was nasty. This right here was so good. Oh my god. So it's like this Cajun grilled lobster and then lobster mac and cheese. I highly recommend getting that lobster mac and cheese and also that grilled lobster. It was fantastic. This brownie was good as well. Now on to Chops Grill. So I've had this lunch many times. So I always get the key every time I do Royal Caribbean. It usually includes this meal. This was my favorite. This actually took place, but it's going to be on pretty much all the same on all the cruises. Colossal shrimp, very good. It comes with tartar and cocktail sauce. And then after that, you can get either filet mignon or you can get a filet mignon burger. Or they just have different things, but I got this right here. It was fantastic. Oh my god, it was so good, and that little sauce that goes with it. Now, the potato fritters I didn't like that much, but the steak fries are really good. And then this red velvet cheesecake, so good. And then this is the burger I was talking about. So I don't like sweet potatoes, so I didn't eat the fries, but the burger was okay. I would still recommend just getting the filet mignon. And then here go the sides. Now the sides used to be a lot bigger, but they changed it up. This is a must-do. Whether it's in Chops or just in that regular dining room, you have to get that molten lava cake. It is so good. And then on in Giovanni's kitchen. So everything in Giovanni's kitchen that I had was fantastic. Everything. There was not a single thing I did not like. This was my favorite. This meatball with the cheese inside. Chicken parm was good as well. It was unique. I'm not going to say I didn't like it, but it was just unique. It was different. And then this is good as well, the chocolate ravioli. Oh my god. So yeah, Giovanni's another one. Honestly, all of Royal Caribbean specialty dinings are pretty good. This right here is considered specialty dining, but anyone can pretty much go in there and without reservations. Playmakers, that was my guy, Jay Merritt. The wings here are fantastic. They're a lot better than the room service wings that you can get. And this campfire cookie, whoo. I really like Playmakers because, of course, the vibe is in a sports bar. But not only that, the food itself, because it's all a la carte, it's actually pretty cheap. So like those wings, for example, they were $8, now I think they're like $9 or $10. The fries are cheap, like $5. There's just really good prices for the amount of food that you get. You must get the Playmakers fries. You have to get those. And then those wings. And this is the burger, the Playmaker burger. Now, it does come with the Playmaker fries, so don't be a rookie like I did and order a side of Playmaker fries and then get a burger and realize it comes with double fries. So, yeah, don't do that. And then also get that sundae so you can get the little helmet cup. That's cool as well. Playmakers, if you want like a good, nice, lively atmosphere, I highly recommend it. The Mason jar. Now, being I was actually raised in the South, North Carolina, I'm very used to Southern food. And this is almost like a Cracker Barrel version of Southern food, where what I mean is it's generic and it just doesn't taste like real authentic Southern food. But on a cruise ship, it's very unique. And so with that said, I still recommend it. Besides that chicken and waffle, oh, that was disgusting. But everything else was pretty good. Again, if you want to try something different, I highly recommend the Mason jar. Now on to the Solarium Bistro. So this bistro, it's pretty much like a mini buffet. This is included. Everything I just showed previously was upcharged. This is free of charge going to the Solarium Bistro. It does change from the breakfast to lunch to dinner. So they do have 3 different meal periods in here. And like I said, it's a lower key breakfast. Now, I will say this. In the morning, it's usually very busy, especially when there's an excursion because people know this is an easier place to get breakfast than the buffet. Excuse me. So in the morning, it's going to be very busy, but during the day and especially at night, it's not going to be that bad. At night, it's actually pretty easy to get in here. So just know that. But essentially, whatever they have in the buffet, they're going to have some of those items down here. Now, not everything, but they will have some of the same items down here. And the cool thing is it's right near the actual solarium. So, I mean, if you want to get a dip in the pool before or after, whatever, it's right there for you just to chill. Now, what I did right here was, because a lot of people like to complain about, oh my God, you go too fast in the buffet, this and that. So what I did was actually slowed it down. I put it in 60 frames per second, and I slowed it down to half the speed so you can see. So people, again, the reason why I have to go fast in the buffet is I am not Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog. I'm not all these other shills out there. I don't get special access to do these videos. So I literally have to record these videos while The buffets are fully functioning, and people will run you over. They will move you out the way. They will yell at you. They'll just be very rude at you, and it makes sense. They're just trying to eat while you're trying to get videos. So if it seems like I'm rushing through these buffets and stuff like that, that's the reason why. And so I have done this trick to kind of slow things down so you all can kind of see if the video looks a little bit weird. So this is what I got right here. And everything is pretty good. You're made to order omelet. Very enjoyable. Okay, so this is a different meal period right here. This is going to be the lunchtime. So as you can see, like I said, it changes up from breakfast to lunch to dinner. I actually do like the Solarium Bistro. Honestly, I will say this. I would prefer to go here versus the buffet, depending on the night. Now, the buffet does have theme nights, which I'll show in a bit. But when they don't have a theme night, when it's just regular buffet food, I would rather come down here to Solarium because it's so much more convenient. And they do have grilled skirt steak and all that. And the food is nice and fresh. So as you all can see, steak, ribs, mashed potatoes, and fish. And then the salad, the Caesar salad. El Loco Fresh. So this is, again, one of the generic Mexican places that's on board. I do like this as well, especially because it's on the pool deck, so it's easy to just grab a burrito or a taco and then just grab a seat and just chill. This is complimentary on this cruise ship as well. Like I said, everything going forward is complimentary. I do like this place. Now, the one thing I don't like is how they have the toppings bar just out in the open, and you'll see like flies and stuff around there, so that's kind of a turn off. And no, this is not as good as Blue Iguana on Carnival. I'm just put it out there, but it's not bad. And this is the toppings bar right here. Now it's time for the main dining room. So the main dining room is the main reason why I started doing Royal Caribbean full time. Now I don't do Royal Caribbean full time anymore, but I got hooked to it because their dining room food was so good compared to other cruise lines that I've been on. At the time of my first time doing Royal Caribbean, I had been on MSC, I had been on NCL, and those two other cruises. And this dining room blew me away. And so as you all can kind of see from the actual meals here, they have some really good high quality food in this dining room. Now it does of course change from ship to ship, I'm not gonna lie. But at least on the cruises I've been on, I have never had a bad experience in the dining room. And just like the buffet, so they do have different theme nights in the dining room as well. So I mean, they have theme nights in the buffet and the dining room, and then if you want a consistent meal, you go to the Solarium or you go to one of the specialty dinings. French onion soup, one of my favorites. Look at all that cheese, y'all. Look at that. Surf and turf. So steak and lobster. This is included. Look at that creamy lobster. Oh my. So this is the reason why I don't do voiceovers when I'm making videos, because it just makes me so hungry. Oh man, this is gonna kill me. Because I'm actually on a diet right now and I haven't eaten in in a while. But yeah, so they had, like I said, really good meals in the dining room. This actually I did not like whatsoever. And then Bon Voyage. So they, like I said, they each have different themings, and depends on the night. They have like Italian night, Bon Voyage, which is the last meal night. They'll have like French night, just all these different nights, whatever. This right here, I'll always get. This is my go-to, the lamb shank, little brownie. Asian pork tacos, coconut shrimp. So good. So good. And cheesecake, and if you all can see, it looks almost identical to what I got in shops. So like I said, a lot of this food is almost reused, so just kind of think about that. If you are getting specialty dining, make sure you're getting something that you cannot find in the MDR. So what I'm basically saying is, don't go to a specialty restaurant just to get a steak or just to get a lobster. Like, go there to get something unique. So yeah, like I said, Utopia has a lot to eat, and it's kind of unfortunate because Utopia, obviously, it's a short weekend cruise. I mean, if you all want to basically experience everything that's on this cruise ship, you're gonna have to do it back to back. It's just no getting around it. Now the breakfast, again, like I said, this is in the main dining room. As you all can see, it looks kind of familiar to what you would find in the Solarium Bistro and things like that, or the buffet. It's just made to order. That's the only difference. We have made it to the Crown Lounge. Now, this is my first time going to this lounge because my Utopia of the Seas cruise was my first time becoming Diamond. I enjoy this place as well. This is almost like the solarium where you can go in there and just get quick food without being bothered and stuff like that. So I highly recommend it. And then Cafe Promenade. So again, there's so many different areas to get food. It really just depends if you want a snack or if you want a sit down meal or if you want just a lot of food in general. Whatever how you feel is where you're gonna go. But like I said, each place has their pros and cons. I mean, this park cafe is convenient, but again, you're not gonna get full unless you get a bunch of snacks. Versus if you go to like the buffet or something like that. Now this park cafe, this is actually in the Central Park area, and you actually can get some freshly cooked meals and stuff like that, some salads, things, whatever, sandwiches, donuts. You can, like I said, you can add it up to almost like a full meal, but still, if you're on a cruise ship, I mean, you're gonna always see food. So just don't think this is the only place you can go to and stuff like that. And that pretty much goes for every different venue on this cruise ship. Now, this is the buffet. This is the big deal here. And the reason why is this is on day one where they have the big lobster seafood thing or whatever. It's going to be very crowded, but you will find some pretty amazing food in here. As far as the lobster, it is cold water lobster. It is served cold, so it's not heating, nothing like that. And they do have drawn butter. But they have a lot more than just lobster. They have, they'll be cutting up some lamb. They have steaks. Ribs, they have a lot, and it's pretty cool. So what I recommend is, I mean, either go very early when you first get on the cruise ship, or go right before it's about to close, because if you go in the peak time when everyone gets there, it's around like 12, 1 o'clock, well, depending on your cruise time, it's gonna be packed. It's gonna be a madhouse. And so there goes the goat right there, and I mean, that's just, seeing that is just dope. And then there's the lobster right there. So again, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Again, this is MrBucketlist. Make sure to check out my other videos. Okay, so let's do a quick review of the entertainment that's on board, and then we'll wrap up this video, starting off with the sail away party. So this is a little bit different than your typical sail away party on Royal Caribbean because this is a booze cruise. I did not want to say it yet until the end of the video, but yes, it caught me completely off guard. At least my sailing and a lot of other people's sailings as well. People come here to drink. People come here to party. It's a 3-night, 4-night sailing, so it's one of those type of cruises. So it is going to be like Carnival in a way, but not all the way. Where them fans at? Anyway, so next up we have the acoustics in Central Park. So this also changes up as well. Each night is something different. But if you want more of a low-key experience, you definitely come here just to check it out. And I will play some music here and there so you all can kind of hear it. After that is going to be the Aqua Theater show. Now, usually these are my favorite shows on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. But for some reason, I don't know why, this one just didn't hit the way I wanted it to. And it's crazy too, because one of my favorite Aqua Theater shows I've ever seen is called Aqua 80s, and that is on Oasis of the Seas. And this is Aqua 80s 2. And I was assuming that, okay, this is a sequel to it and stuff like that. And it started off strong, but it had a bunch of just songs I either never heard of or just slow songs. I didn't really like it that much. I'm not saying it's a bad show, but at least for my taste, it wasn't the best. Ironically, the stage show that they have, which is one of their own original productions in the Royal Theater, was a lot better. And I'll kind of show some clips of it, but it's a really good show. But this was still good as well. Make sure to check this out, Aqua 80s 2. Next up is going to be their One Hit Wonders Mega Party. Now, I did enjoy this as well. The only unfortunate thing, and this pretty much goes for all Royal Caribbean cruises, almost all cruises in general, if you've seen this party before on another cruise ship, it's going to be identical. The same dance room, the same song orders, the same everything. And so I saw this on Icon of the Seas. I loved it. They brought on Utopia. I'm like, wow, I've already seen this before. I had this whole show already recorded, so I knew the songs beat by beat in the order and everything. Either way, it's still pretty fun. Again, like I said, it's more of a party atmosphere because it says Utopia, but it still is an enjoyable show. After that, they do have some smaller musical acts inside one of the clubs in the music hall, so this is enjoyable as well. Check it out. And then this show right here, wow, it was so good. And one of the director of this show actually commented on my video of this show, saying he directed and stuff like that. If there's any show that you see on this cruise ship, it's going to be this and the ice skating show that I'll show in a little bit. This one right here is really, really good. Again, I can't play much of the music because it is copyrighted and stuff like that, but just check it out. And then this ice skating show. So this was really good as well. The soundtrack to this show, I hate that YouTube copyrights everything, but it was very good, very enjoyable, and they had so many different costumes and acts and stuff like that. So again, I highly recommend this ice skating show and that previous stage show as well called All In. But then you also have things like the comedian, of course. Comedy, of course, is going to be subjective. And then lastly, you have some other smaller acts as well. So again, as far as the entertainment on board, they have a lot packed for a 3 or 4 day weekend. So again, I highly recommend checking out, if not all these shows, at least some of these shows. They're really good. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and please look out for my documentary. It's Mr. Bucket List. I'll see you soon.